A very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. Let us start with the first snippet. Manipur governor's order: surrender weapons in 7 days or face action. Nothing as such at the outset, but if you look at it very carefully, there is something to learn. What is the first word to focus on? Manipur governor's order. Now you may wonder, so why should we focus on that word? There are certain verbs. After those verbs, we should not use any preposition. Important examples are order for. In many exams they have given, he has ordered for coffee. Is that right or wrong? It is wrong. He has ordered coffee. That is correct. Discuss about, wrong. We are discussing politics. We should not say we are discussing about politics. Inform to, wrong. We have informed to the students. That is not correct. We have to say we have informed the students. These you have to recollect. Surrender weapons in 7 days or face action. Face action, easy to make out, but sometimes what happens, to face the consequences, we say you should be prepared to face the music. What is the meaning of the idiom face the music? Means face the consequences. You have to recollect that. And the word surrender, we have got many a time. You have to recollect words like yield, given. Surrender, yield, given, they all mean the same. And at the same time, you have to recollect the phrasal. Israel grieves loss. Grief, noun, grieve, verb. What does it mean? To feel sad about some untoward incident, something bad. Grieve. And when you think of the word grieve, you have to recollect. Imagine someone lost a member of family. They feel very sad. Then we have to use the expression grief stricken. Have you heard of this? Grief stricken. What does it mean? To be very sad. Israel grieves loss. Hamas turns over bodies of 4 hostages. I have already given hostage crisis. Relinquish, renounce, abjure, you have to recollect. But here, written back is wrong. Good, I appreciate your responses, your comments. Hamas turns over, in the sense it has given bodies, corpses. What is the meaning of corpse? Corpse, C-O-R-P-S-E, means a dead body. A dead body, we say corpse. A person died. Deceased person. What is the spelling over here? D-E-C-E-A-S-E-D. Deceased person means a dead person. Regular word deceased, you all know. I don't have to tell you guys. You have to recollect these words based on this snippet. Let us go to the next one. It goes with Adani's project in Sri Lanka. Adani Green Deal. Sri Lanka not looking to redraw power pact. They don't want to go back. Sri Lanka not looking to redraw power pact. Adani, I think the company has decided to withdraw, but Sri Lanka is not willing to. Scavenger, dead body, you have to recollect these. Some animals depend on corpses. What is the word for those animals? Scavengers. But scavenger, good Arun Reddy, I appreciate. Scavenging is a profession. The person who does it, a scavenger. One who cleans human excreta or human waste. And there's an expression, human excretion. We use a euphemism. Expression is a night soil. Carcass also you have to recollect. Very good. What is the meaning of night soil? Means human excretion, human waste. As usual, we have an important snippet over here. Nutrition literacy. I'm sure you all know the word literacy. Literate, illiterate, literacy. But this goes more with nutrition. Transforming Koraput's tribal food basket. Transform, we have got many a time. What does it mean? change, changing Koraput, a place, tribal food basket. Community-based plan is leading to change. Means it is giving positive results. That's how you have to look at it. Next one goes with sports. I'm sure you all know what is this snippet about. Smooth start. Yesterday we had the first match against Bangladesh and India won the match. Based on that, Gil powers India past Bangladesh. There's one important word. What is that? Past. Usually, imagine there's one building here. I moved from this place to that place. And on the left, there's a building. Better expression, I have to say, I went past the building. Usually people say, I crossed the building. I crossed the building. Better expression, I went past the building. Both mean the same, but pattern matters a lot. That's all about the snippets. Now let us go to the main headline. What does it say? Supreme Court stays Lokpal order on power over judges. Stay to stop. Supreme Court stays Lokpal order on power over judges. So it goes with the legal dimension. When you read a news item like this, you have to think of words related to legal aspects. And the most important, when you take a government, there are three important bodies: judiciary, legislature, executive. All these, we have to use a definite article, the judiciary, the legislature, the executive. That you have to recollect. And also the words legal dimension, all the words should be at your fingertips. Otherwise, nothing to learn as such. Here we have trade deal is possible with China. A statement given by Trump. Legal, illegal, illicit, you have to recollect. What is the meaning? It has nothing, there's nothing to learn as such. Trade deal is possible with China, Trump. Infiltration down post Bangladesh regime change. There are two important words here. One is infiltration. Down means the number went down. Regime, post Bangladesh regime change. What is the meaning of infiltration? Imagine there is a border, one side country A, another side country B. From country B, people try to enter country A illegally along the border. That is known as infiltration. If you take this particular headline or snippet, people entering from Bangladesh to coming into India, it is about that illegal entry in a nutshell. Infiltration down post Bangladesh regime change. Post Bangladesh regime change here means after change in Bangladesh regime. There is one important word, regime. Regime has two or three meanings. One meaning, it goes with the government. Incumbent government, we say present regime, one meaning. Another meaning, it means a system. Tax regime. Tax regime means tax system. Both the meanings you have to know. Then we have a beautiful pic over here. Yesterday also we got a beautiful pic, snow-capped mountains. Today also related to snow. But what does it say? Final flourish. Flourish we have got many a time. What does it mean? To grow well, flourishing, thriving. I usually give two examples. Flourishing business, thriving business. Both you have to recollect. Here we have final flourish. Welcome break. Kashmir has been experiencing snowfall. I think it has stopped. Based on that, break, welcome break. A man walks down a snow-covered road in Shopian district of Kashmir on Thursday after nearly 2 months of an unprecedented dry spell. The Kashmir Valley received some rain and snowfall, raising hopes for improved water availability. Oh, no snow at all for 2 months, a dry spell. Dry spell means no rains. In this context, no snow. After a dry spell for almost 2 months, unprecedented, never happened before dry spell, the Kashmir Valley received some rain and snowfall. You can see the snowfall. Raising hopes. Rise, raise, I know all of you know. We have got so many times. Our students. Raising hopes for improved water availability. We have a pic of our Prime Minister and Delhi CM. Rekha Gupta takes charge as ninth Chief Minister of Delhi. So, who is the new Chief Minister of Delhi? Rekha Gupta. An important point which comes under current affairs. Microsoft unveils, we have got this word also many a time. Microsoft unveils a chip for quantum computing. Unveil means what? To disclose, to reveal, to make public, to roll out. All these expressions one has to think of. Exactly. We have another headline over here. Governments of opposition ruled states in South India reject proposed UGC rules. This has been going on for some time. Many southern states which are not ruled by the BJP party, they have been opposing the new policy imposed by the UGC. Related to that, governments of opposition ruled states in South India reject proposed UGC rules. They're not willing to accept UGC rules imposed by the apex body, University Grants Commission, UGC. That's all from the front page of today's Hindu paper. Let us go to today's editorial. Today's editorial is an important editorial because it deals with water pollution. Though very specific, related to water at Kumbh Mela, generally any topic that deals with pollution, important. And all the words you should have at your fingertips. What is the enrichment? Reading comprehension skill, contextual awareness, vocabulary, grammar consolidation, and mini marks. Let us see, and today surprisingly, hardly, I have brought only two words. Almost all the words are familiar words. This is what happens, I tell students, when you start reading the Hindu paper, initially you may come across 10 or 15 new words. Slowly, what happens when you keep reading, the number keeps coming down. And today's paper, yes, possible. This today's editorial, only two words. Even these words, many of our students know, but I had to bring two words because sometimes we do have new students. What is the first one? Sustain, and that too an important word. You all know the word sustain, sustainability, sustainable goals. It has two different meanings. Sustainable development. One meaning sustain means to maintain. Sustainable practices means what? Using resources in such a way that the future generations can access, or using resources in a wise manner. Sustain, part of speech verb, meaning to maintain, support, or keep something going over time. Part of speech verb meaning to maintain. Remember the word maintain. Example, the government must take continuous steps to sustain the cleanliness of the Ganga. Here, maintain the cleanliness of the Ganga. In place of maintain, we can use the word sustain. And one more thing you have to look at, the Ganga. Why should we use a definite article, the? There's an important rule. What is that rule? Before the names of rivers, we should use the definite article, the. The Ganges, the Ganga you can say here, the Godavari, the Kaveri. Any river we have to use the. Word forms, noun sustainability, sustenance. You got to be careful with spelling. Sustain, sustenance. Like yesterday we got one word, maintain, maintenance. Same way, sustain, sustenance. Spelling changes. Sustainable, sustained, adverbial form, adjective, sustainable, sustained. Adverb, sustainably. Word combinations, sustain life, sustain damage, sustain growth, sustain efforts, sustain pressure. Synonyms, maintain, preserve, uphold, continue, support. Antonyms: abandon, neglect, weaken, halt. Abandon, an important word. The Tungabhadra, right? Abandon means what? Leave someone or something. Leave someone when the person is in trouble or when the person is facing hardships. She has been abandoned by her family. But there's another word you have to recollect. Very good. What is that word? Desert. You should also recollect the word desert. Desert can be a noun, can be a verb. She has been deserted by her family. Here it is a verb. The Thar, the Sahara, desert, noun. But here, desert, double S, that goes with food, special dish or sweet dish. We use the word dessert. Otherwise, nothing to learn. The second word, influx. This is an important word. Part of speech, noun. A large arrival of entry of people, money, or things into a place. Usually it goes with imagine along the border, large number of people try to enter. We use this. And also a big city, a lot of things enter, a lot of people enter. Then we say influx of new models, influx of tourists, influx of migrants. Important word. Example, the influx of visitors during the Kumbh Mela increased water contamination. Word forms, no verb form, but flow in can be flow in. That is a phrasal verb. Then a phrasal verb means there is a verb. Word combinations, influx of tourists, refugees, sudden influx, massive influx, rapid influx, all important. Word usage, economy related, influx of foreign investment boosted the economy, a good example. Migration, cities struggle to manage the influx of people seeking jobs. Usually, cities, every day, big city, imagine there's a big city. Every day, thousands of people enter the city in search of jobs. Then we use the word influx of job seekers. Synonyms: arrival, flood, surge, inflow. Antonyms: exodus, outflow, retreat. Exodus is an important word they have given many a time. Tell me what is the meaning of exodus. Exodus means mass migration of people. Then you should recollect words like migration, refugees, exodus, asylum, political turmoil, immigration, emigration, all these words. Only two words I said. Let us go to the editorial. Today's editorial is all about water pollution. On the eve of Kumbh Mela, if you take Prayagraj and along a few parts, the Ganges, the river Ganga, water pollution, and something has become controversial. The Pollution Control Board has given the report, but UPCM has denied. And the editorial takes a stand and says, denying scientific reports, not a good thing. That is a stand taken by the editorial. Watering down. Topic is about water pollution. And here you see watering down. What does it mean? Diluting. Imagine there's an important issue and someone gives a report. You don't consider, you don't take it seriously, you ignore, you refuse, you deny. That means you're diluting. Then we say downplay also, you can say, very good, Anant. Then watering down. Pollution in Ganga needs long-term solutions, not denialism. This is the main thing. No doubt Ganga water is polluted, and denying that is not a solution. What the government has to do? Pollution in Ganga needs long-term solutions. The UP government should look for long-term solutions instead of denying the fact that water got polluted. That is the main idea. Then it has to provide the background information, where the water got polluted, why it got polluted, and has it happened now or it has been going on for some time, what are the solutions, and what is the stand taken by. Theme of the editorial is informative. Don't ask multiple choice questions. I am doing the analysis. Listen to the analysis. Official estimates suggest that around 45 crore visitors, nearly a third of India's population, one third of India's population, that is staggering number, mind-blowing number. Official estimates suggest that around 45 crore visitors, nearly a third of India's population, have already been, an important expression, visitors based on that, have already been to Prayagraj for the Mahakumbh Mela, which began in mid-January. You may wonder, I hope you understand, Jyotish, you may wonder why to underline have already been to. There's something very important. There are two verbs you have to think of. One, he has gone to. Second, he has been to. What is the difference between gone to? He has gone to Delhi. He has been to Delhi. What is the difference? Gone means he's still in Delhi. Been means he went and came back. And a common error, you should never say, have you gone to Paris? That's a wrong question. We should say, have you been to Paris? If someone says, have you gone to Paris? That is wrong. Have you been to Paris? That you have to recollect. Need not be permanently shifted. Permanently shifted, then we have to use, he left the city for good. To leave for good means to leave permanently. With such a massive influx, imagine one third of Indian population, 45 crore people. It is nothing but appropriate word, influx. Massive, that too. With such a massive influx, even a small percentage of individuals who carry microbes could trigger extensive chains of disease transmission. When so many people visit, imagine only a few people carry microbes. That itself is very dangerous, deleterious. They may spread the diseases, and it may spread like a chain reaction. Even a small percentage of individuals who carry microbes could trigger extensive chains of disease transmission. The Ganga at Prayagraj, where devotees not only have ritual baths but also drink the water, inevitably becomes a complex receptacle of microbiomes. It talks about the waters of the Ganga. When so many people visit carrying microbes, some of them at least, what happens? What is the net result? And here they take bath, not only that, holy dip, they also drink that water. What is the impact of that? Inevitable means unavoidable, going to happen. Becomes a complex receptacle, an important word. Receptacle means a container or space where something is stored. In this context, a container of microbes, holding microbes, of microbiomes, means large number of microbes, bacteria. The central, now comes the actual thing. Why to write this editorial? The Pollution Control Board has given a report about the number of microbes and permissible, above permissible. Regarding that, the UPCM has denied. Based on that, this has been written. The Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, which is responsible for monitoring and controlling air, water, and land pollution, has been assessing water quality at Prayagraj since the festival began. Very important pattern, has been assessing, which tense is that present perfect continuous active voice. And whenever we use a present perfect continuous, we depend on two prepositions. One since for specific time, the other one for time period. And here it should be in past. Since the festival began. This clause, past phrase or clause, this one should be either in present perfect or present perfect continuous. Has been going on for some time. Its reports, you have to recollect an important rule. What is that rule? Possessive pronouns never take an apostrophe. In the exam, they may give same thing, it's, then it is not correct. Because the rule is possessive pronouns never take and apostrophe. Its reports, which are publicly accessible, present a mixed picture, mixed feelings. There's one expression. Mixed feelings means both positive and negative. Like that mixed picture, something positive, something negative. On January 14th, which was Makar Sankranti, one of the most auspicious bathing days. Auspicious means a very good, auspicious bathing days. Fecal coliform levels. Fecals means human waste, human excretion. And there's one particular bacteria that is known as a fecal coliform, that is a bacterium. Levels, a key indicator of contamination from human and animal waste, were at a high. When they checked on the eve of Makar Sankranti, January 14th, they found something. What did they find? Fecal coliform levels, a key indicator of contamination from human and animal waste, were at a high, nearly 11,000 units at Sangam Ghat, which is more than 4 times the permissible limit of 2,500 units. This fecal coliform, the permissible limit is how much? 2,500 units. But that day they found 11,000 units. That is nothing but 4 times more than the permissible level. This is something very disturbing. It shows water got contaminated. At the old Naini Bridge Ghat along the Yamuna, the count was even higher at 33,000 units. What is a permissible limit? 2,500 units. And this particular ghat, the old Naini Bridge Ghat along the Yamuna, a different river, the count was even higher, 33,000 units. However, contrasting information, on other days, these numbers dropped to as low as 20780 units. Now it is going on, Kumbh Mela. It talks about other days what was the number or what were the numbers. However, on other days, these numbers dropped to as low as 200 and 780. The Ganga 200 and the Yamuna 780 units. Similar, it shows that fluctuations are there, highs and lows. Similar fluctuations were observed for other parameters of water quality, such as biochemical oxygen demand, BOD, and dissolved oxygen, DO. Not only with the microbe levels, other parameters also they discovered, they observed fluctuations, highs and lows. A CPCB report submitted to the National Green Tribunal on February 3rd stated that the water quality on January 12th, 13th, 2025 was not fit for bathing, let alone drinking. That's an important expression, let alone. Means forget about drinking, not suitable for taking a bath, despite bathing having a higher tolerance limit. What does the sentence mean? Based on the reports, it says it is not fit to take a bath, to have a holy dip. Forget about drinking, that is ruled out. However, the report also noted a reduction in organic pollution due to freshwater intrusion upstream. It seems freshwater intrusion upstream happened. Based on that, reduction in organic pollution. They observed that also. The report observed that as well. It further observed that the sheer number of people bathing in the river during the Mahakumbh Mela, particularly on auspicious days, led to an inevitable spike in fecal contamination. When more number of people go, obviously what happens? The fecal contamination goes up. That is observation, and it is inevitable and also expected. These fluctuations are not exclusive to the Kumbh Mela. Means other places also, other events also experienced these fluctuations. Routine monitoring of water quality by the CPCB has consistently recorded similar patterns, reinforcing the fact that regardless of what the festival may be, water in the Ganga at Prayagraj is not fit for consumption, whether as a few drops or bucketful. Based on this, the report says the water, when it comes to the river, the Ganges, holy river, it is not, especially at Prayagraj, is not fit for consumption, whether a few drops or bucketful. Please listen to this, because there are questions based on that. Listen to the analysis. See, I haven't completed yet. Why are you worried about the tone? When I complete, we have questions based on the editorial. There you can ask this question. There, one of the questions could be about the tone of the editorial. You have to wait till that time. The river's suitability for bathing fluctuates based on water flow and dilution. Two factors decide the suitability for when it comes to bathing. One is water flow and dilution. Considering these adverse findings, adverse means negative. Considering these adverse findings, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's dismissal of this scientific data as baseless is misleading. This is the main thing. CPCB has given the report, but what is the response of the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath? He has denied Yogi Adityanath's dismissal of this scientific data as baseless is misleading. People may get confused. On the one hand, CPCB, the report, which is scientific. On the other hand, the UPCM, who dismisses this report, definitely misleading. The National Mission for Clean Ganga is based on a sustained effort to restore the river's health, and Uttar Pradesh, its largest beneficiary, must prioritize continuous cleanup efforts instead of undermining legitimate pollution concerns. Undermine means weaken. Instead of weakening the report's pollution concerns, they should not do that. They should focus on or prioritize continuous cleanup efforts. The Kumbh Mela highlights the urgent need for long-term solutions, not denialism. Main idea is being reiterated. What is required at this stage? Urgent need for long-term solutions, not denialism. Science can come to the aid of the faithful. It is in no one's interest to undermine scientific findings in the name of encouraging a spiritual journey. You can encourage. What does the last sentence mean? You can encourage spiritual journey. It doesn't mean that you have to undermine scientific reports. It doesn't mean that you have to keep scientific reports aside. Because science can come to the aid of the faithful. For anyone, science is useful. It is in no one's interest to undermine scientific findings. We should not undermine, weaken scientific findings at the cost of while promoting spiritual journey. No doubt spiritual journey is important. It doesn't mean we should undermine the scientific reports. Main idea is being reiterated. Go to questions based on reading comprehension skill. Try to answer these questions. According to the passage, how does the influx of visitors impact the Ganga at Prayagraj? It increases religious significance but does not affect water quality. Introduces microbes into the water, increasing contamination risks. Answer is B. What does a fecal coliform indicate in water quality assessment? When we assess the water quality, we find fecal coliform. What does it mean? What does it indicate? Presence of dissolved oxygen, level of organic waste decomposition, contamination from human and animal waste. That's what it indicates. What was the fecal coliform level recorded at the Sangam Ghat on Makar Sankranti? On the eve of Makar Sankranti, what was the number of units? Not 33,000. 33,000 Yamuna, the Yamuna. Here 11,000. Permissible 2,500 and 33,000 the Yamuna, 200 units wrong. So what is the answer here? B is the answer. According to the passage, what is misleading about Uttar Pradesh CM Yogi Adityanath's response? Something is, no problem, something is misleading based on what the UP CM has said. What is it? He claimed that the festival was poorly organized. Why will he do that? He denied the scientific reports on pollution in the Ganga. He did not acknowledge. He denied. That is misleading. Denying scientific reports is definitely misleading. Answer is B. Why does the author argue that science and faith should not be in conflict? Science and faith should not be in conflict. Why does the writer feel that way? Science can help improve the safety of spiritual practices. Science should replace religious beliefs altogether. Faith should dictate scientific findings. The government should choose faith over science. Science can help improve the safety of spiritual practices. A is the answer. Now, error location. I think we have done with the questions based on comprehension skill. Error location, read the sentence and try to spot the error. The talks between US and Russian officials in Riyadh, their first major diplomatic interaction since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, marks the beginning of a reset in ties. One reading you should be able to. It is based on, let at least one student respond, then I will tell. Mention the question number 1. What is the subject here? The talks between US and Russian officials in Riyadh, their first major diplomatic interaction since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. You have to keep in brackets. The talks marks wrong. Sentence is in present tense and the subject is third person plural. Then we should not add s or es to the verb. The talks mark, not marks. There is an error. There is an error. Fourth part. Here we cannot say marks. Because the subject is plural. Talks mark something. You have to read meticulously. Only then you can answer. Pillars, Mr. Trump's push for stability with Russia is rooted in a sense of those who followed yesterday's editorial can answer, others cannot answer. Realism, exactly. Who is this? Anant, I think, first one to respond. B, realism. One more question. Excluding Ukraine and Europe from any settlement that would determine Ukraine's future and Europe's security architecture would be wrong. How? Morally, strategically, logically, politically. Here, answer is morally. Ukraine has become the victim and you don't involve Ukraine, that is morally not correct. Morally or ethically. No, other things cannot be considered. Answer is the first option. Morally wrong. Unethical. Yesterday's editorial, the writer used the expression unethical. What does the phrase proxy conflict mean in the given passage? Question number 4. Oh, already Anant has already answered. Says B. A direct war? No. A conflict where one nation fights on behalf of another. Answer is B. Very good. Choose a correct sentence using the word reminiscent. Of these 4 sentences, which sentence has used the word reminiscent properly, accurately? Here we have only the prepositions different, otherwise same words. So what is the sentence which has the correct preposition? Reminiscent about, wrong. Reminiscent to, wrong. Reminiscent takes a preposition of. Answer is C. Reminiscent of something. Based on prepositional combination. Adversary. What is a synonym of adversary? Adversary means synonym. It's a negative word. We cannot say positive word, positive word, positive word. Answer has to be C. Opponent. rival, competitor. Antonym of the word rapprochement. Rapprochement means to pacify, to patch up, to reconcile. What is opposite? Hostility. It is not cooperation, reconciliation, alliance. Hostility. And someone wanted to know the tone of the editorial. Tone of the editorial is critical. Critical, criticizing Yogi Adityanath's stand. What is the stand taken by the UP CM? Denial of scientific reports. That has been criticized. That's all for today. I hope you guys got enriched. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.